Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm using a handmade art stone from the molds from HappyDottingCompany. I will leave links in the description so that you can go there and use my 10% discount when you buy some heart-shaped molds. If you don't have a heart-shaped mold, you can use a stone of any shape. Just draw a heart onto it and paint your image inside the heart shape. But I'm going to be doing the cutest, well, actually, he's going to be quite handsome, a flamingo. And the story behind this is I am taking a picture. This is how I'm going to set you in the mood. I'm taking a picture of a flamingo, not a flamingo, of a sunset. And the flamingo photobombed it, okay? So that's what this picture is going to be all about. But he's beautiful, so of course he's going to photobomb it. So I'm doing on one side of the heart, I'm sketching it on with pencil and erasing the stuff that I don't really want. And then we're going to paint it. So you'll be able to see how much this changes as we go along. His beak is going to change a little bit. I actually started off using just this bright pink. And it really is like a beautiful hot pink. It's Martha Stewart hot pink. It's really, really beautiful and bright, but I ended up deciding that it was a little too pink for my flamingo. So I'm going to actually add a little bit of fire coral into it to get the color pink that I was trying to actually go for. So here's the fire coral. I'm mixing it in with the bright hot pink from Martha Stewart, and I've come up with the color that I actually like a lot better. So you'll see I'm using a sponge. I use a fine lining brush to paint it on the outside, and then I sponge on the inside to get it that nice soft texture, like it's airbrushed, and it covers really, really nice. I will be adding some magenta, which is what I'm doing right now over the eye. I'm going to just add magenta along some different portions, like underneath the cheek there, down the neck of the flamingo. You're going to see, and then I just kind of blend it in with that lighter pink so that there's like a nice soft shaded look there. I'm shading the pink with the dark magenta. That's the best way I can explain it. But you'll see when we get to the end of this that you'll be able to see the shaded areas really well once it's been resined. You might not be able to see it that great right now, but I use sponges to shade everything. And instead of doing like shadows and stuff underneath fish or underneath your butterflies, stuff like that, you just use a little bit of magenta just to shadow or shade, just darken some areas. And it just makes it look a little bit less one-dimensional. I guess it's the best way for me to explain it anyway. Now, he is not an evil flamingo. He's very handsome, very dapper. And so my husband actually thought that he looked angry, but no, he is showing off. That's what he's doing. He knows you're trying to take a picture of a beautiful sunset, but he's more beautiful, and he is going to put himself in your photo. So that is the story behind this beautiful guy. So I'm just going to keep adding, make sure that I can't see through any of that pink. I'm putting 2 layers, sponging it on, making sure I shade underneath his cheek there. And I'm literally just using a sponge to just kind of smush out that magenta paint and mix it in with some of the pink. So it looks kind of like he's blushing a little bit on his cheek there. Now up the neck, and I will be outlining everything with black. I'll probably be adjusting and outlining a couple of times along the way. You will see that, I'm sure. I'm constantly, sometimes something gets outlined like 4 times. It depends on if I have to adjust things or fix something. So yeah, I might go over things a couple of times, and you might think that, why are you doing that again? But trust me, there's a reason. There's a method to my madness. Now, I don't want him to look like a goose or anything. So we will be playing around with his beak. There's a little bit of pink on his beak right now. There will be some blushing on his beak, but not in that area. So we will be fixing that and working on his beak afterwards. Changing the shape up a little bit. I wasn't happy with the shape that I started off with, but I end up being happy with it in the end. So it's all that matters. You can always adjust. You can always adjust. So now I'm just finding his eyelids. He's got an upper lid and a lower lid, and I'm trying to define those with the black paint. Once that black paint is dry, I'm going to put a little bit of white paint in there so that you can really see the upper lid and the lower lid. That eye is going to look a lot less evil very soon. I promise. We'll bring him to life, and he will be just handsome as heck. So yeah, keep the image in your mind. He got in the way while you were taking a beautiful picture of a sunset, and he just jumped right in there and you snapped the picture, and this is what you end up with. So I like to always kind of have a little bit of a story to go along with what we're painting. I thought, you know, there's a lot of people that are probably really bored right now, and I have had quite a few requests for a flamingo. I know this isn't like the whole body of the flamingo and all that, their cute little knobbly knees and stuff. Save that for later. I'll make another one with a full flamingo with knobbly knees at another time, but this one, he needed some attention. He wanted you guys to see him, so that's why we are doing this one. So I'm using a very light yellow. I've actually added a lot of white because their eyes are yellow in most of the pictures that I look at. So I added a lot of white to my yellow, and I filled in that whole area. It's not going to all stay like that, but I'm letting it dry a little bit before we move on, and I'm just going to outline my beak again. How many times are we going to outline the beak? But you can't even see, I'm working on the bottom of the beak right now. But yes, we're going to let the eye dry. It looks very strange right now, and I apologize for that. But he's going to come to life very, very soon. Now, I may have done this a little bit backwards, so I'll explain as we go along. While I'm working on the eye here, all I did was cut it into a circle using black paint and my paintbrush. So we want to have the shape of a little yellow eye in there. So I've just kind of rounded it off. Make sure you keep your upper lid and your lower lid. And then I put a black dot. Bam. Used one of my dotting tools, put a black dot in there. We're going to let that dry, and then I'm going to add a little bit of white to it to give it a little bit of shine and bring it to life a little bit more. Now I'm using white to clean up my beak a little bit and get it the way I want it to look. I'm just kind of, I put this, like the slit in the beak already on there, but I'm painting over it with a sponge right now because there's a specific look that I'm going for with the beak of the flamingo. Is it even called a beak when it's a flamingo? Someone tell me. Someone comment and tell me. Even if I don't ask, I know someone's going to tell me. Now I just wanted to kind of blush it a little bit above the black. So the bottom of his beak is black. Then I put a little bit of blush with using the pink, but very small amount of pink. And then I used the white to fill in the rest. So here I'm going to add the little white bloop there. He's alive. He's got a shiny eyeball and he's alive. What should we name him? To me, he looks like a Frank, but I don't know. You guys tell me what he looks like. So I might have done this a little bit backwards to some of you. But I was really excited to see if I could paint a flamingo. So most of you might want to do the background of this first and then paint your flamingo on afterwards. So if this seems backwards, it really is. But I'm going to show you if you didn't do it, if you did it backwards like me because you're following my tutorial and I'm a bit of a dummy. Not all there today. If you do it this way, I can show you how to do it this way. It's just a little more tedious because you have to go around your flamingo. But it can be done. I'm going to show you right now. The thing is, it is a lot easier to do your background first and then paint your flamingo on top. But I'm always here to give you a challenge. So what I'm doing is I'm using like a light ocean blue, I believe. All the paint colors will be listed in the description. It is called Ocean View. And I'm also using an aqua color. And that's the darker blue you see up top. So what I've done is I sponged on the darker color and I'm blending in the lighter color just underneath. So it kind of looks like a sky, and it's changing from light to dark as you go up. Now, because of the little crack between his face and his neck and everything, that's a little more challenging. I'm using a blending brush instead of a sponge to get in that little area. And I'm just trying to kind of make it blend in with the rest of the background. So it's definitely, I do recommend paint your background first, then do your flamingo. I definitely should have done that, but I was excited. I wanted to paint him. I wanted him on here, and then I didn't know what I was going to do until after I painted him. So forgive me. And you guys can always do it in whichever order you please. That's the best thing about this. You don't have to do it in the order or color or fashion that I did it. So I'm doing the same thing on the other side. It's always best to like outline your area first. If you're going around an object, then it's easier to like not mess it up with your sponges when you're blending. Just kind of use the sponge wisely close to your flamingo face if you're doing it in the same order that I've done it. I'm going to say sorry because it is silly that I did it backwards, but I really am just kind of, I'm slapping it on here and trying to figure out what to do as I go along, and then I have to try and explain myself to you afterwards. So yeah, forgive me for that. I'm sorry. But I do suggest it is easier to do a background first and then plop your flamingo right over top of it. You might have to do more coats of your pink and stuff depending on what colors you choose for your background. But yeah, it is easier to do the background first instead of trying to do it around your flamingo. But I like to be challenging, and I like to keep things, you know, tricky. So of course I want to add some purple in here because I love purple. So I'm just going to do a little bit of blending up this side here, make this side fancy schmancy, and I'm using Perfect Purple. So check the description for all my paint colors. My resin tutorial is in there. The link to the Happy Dotting Company to order your own heart-shaped molds or any other molds, everything is in the description. So I don't keep any secrets from you guys. I don't see the point of keeping secrets from you guys. I'm not a magician. I'm going to tell you my tricks. I might be a magician turning a rock into something beautiful, right? No, we are all magicians then, because we can all do this. But yeah, like I don't hide anything from you guys. Everything's in the description. So if you are able to find the description, you have the key to my mind. So I'm going to darken up this side even more. I just want to be careful with my blending. Make sure it goes nicely, slides nicely into that nice teal color or aqua color up top. But yeah, I'm going to be outlining my flamingo again because I got my sponge a little close in some areas where I covered up my black line. So you'll see me outlining and outlining. There is no gold in this one today, guys. I wish I had sad music to play in the background while I was telling you that we are laying our gold to rest for this one. Although I could have put a little bit of gold in his eye. Kind of kicking myself for not doing that. But there will be gold on the next one. I promise. You guys have been asking about a colorful mandala, a dotted mandala that is on my YouTube and on my Facebook. That's coming. I do have a tutorial video already prepped for you. It's just a matter of time before I get it uploaded. So that's exciting. Also, I have bribed my son to learn a song on his keyboard, on his piano. And hopefully we're going to be posting some videos of some music, because music makes people feel good. So I'm pretty excited to be at home spending some time with my boys. And luckily, my oldest boy is very musically inclined. So, yeah, he's awesome. Makes me very, very proud. So now that I have my whole background is dry, I'm adding hologram 2796. And it's going through the entire background. So I filled in the small area between his beak and his neck. And now I'm going around the whole rest of it. Not on the flamingo, not on him. He doesn't need glitter to sparkle. Just the background, just the sky is going to sparkle. So you don't have to use hologram glitter. You can use whatever kind of glitter you want. Just make sure it's not a color that's going to change your sky color, because you've worked so hard on that already. So the one thing I like about hologram is it goes really good with purple. And of course, it's like a teal sparkle in it. So it goes really good with the aqua and teal that I've used on the upper portion of my sky. So it looks lovely. I do paint the entire bottom of this black. So for those of you who are wondering what I did with the bottom, I paint it all black and I resin the whole thing. I soap it up like a bar of soap with resin and gloves, and yeah. So now that that glitter is dry, it's going to look a lot different once we resin it, okay? It looks kind of chunky and weird right now, but it's going to look a lot nicer once it's resined. Now I tried to show you in pencil that I was going to put 2 palm trees here, but you can barely see the pencil, so I gave up on that, tossed it across my desk, and now I'm just going to slap it on there with paint and try and make some palm trees, okay? So I'm going to try and make some palm trees. They're just little. These were part of the picture that we were taking when he decided that he was going to be a part of it. So we were taking a picture of a beautiful sky, palm trees, and then this handsome fella popped his face in there thinking, why not me? So I am literally just slapping on some palm trees, doing little wisps of hairs off of each strand or branch of the palm tree, doing the palm leaves. And they're just little swipes of your fine lining brush or my fine lining brush. That tutorial is also in the description, how to make this brush that I'm using. It is there available for you. I don't hide anything from you. So I am just filling in each branch of my palm tree, and it looks pretty good. Are you ready for the best part? I think you are. I think you all deserve to see, but you know, don't get too excited. It's really beautiful, but don't hold your breath too long. Sometimes it takes a moment for me to bring him out. Just keep breathing. Here he comes. I promise. Peekaboo. I always slow-mo this down, and I never really know how slow it's going to be until we get there. Here it is. What do you guys think of that? Isn't he the most handsome flamingo you have ever seen? If someone tells me that this is not a male flamingo, I am sorry. This is a male flamingo. And this is a gorgeous, gorgeous photo op that he had. I love you guys. Keep painting no matter how stressful it gets. Keep painting. This will get you through. Be safe. Stay indoors with your family. I love you. There will be more coming soon. Bye, guys.